Billing amount was close to 8,000 US dollars for that one placement, which is not small, I guess.
Yeah. What were the key factors that helped you achieve 1 crore plus top line?
Said earlier, and I keep saying, Ashish, that my key deliverables, I would always say, have been my clients. Global Recruits is a boutique firm. We work on very niche mandates, and these are all global mandates. Our clients have kept coming back to us, so that's a huge testimonial for us that whatever we are doing, we're doing good.
Have you seen any kind of change in mindset of candidates after COVID?
Not exactly. So after COVID, everything took off, and it was all with a vengeance. I have always been passionate about what I'm doing. Not only for us, but for any organization, it is so important that we attract good talent. Working at an organization, you get up in the morning, "Arey yaar, aaj office jana hai," and the same old story, and
Customer is always right.
customer is always right, because at the end of the day, you're working for the customer. So as I say, the customer can ask you for the sun, moon and stars, which I know, and everybody knows. You can't give it to the customer. For me, I've been in this for the last 2 decades. I'm sleeping or whatever, somebody asks me about something, I'll be able to talk about it even with my subconscious mind. So success is, Ashish, I would say, being true to yourself. There are no shortcuts. We don't consider ourselves to be vendors to any clients. We always consider ourselves to be
Hello viewers, welcome to a brand new episode of Sign Up Startup powered by Bharat Valley Incubator and Accelerator Private Limited, your launchpad for innovation. So recruitment business, it seems very easy from outside, but do you know that how difficult it is to run a recruitment business? Today we have our guest who is a pioneer in this business and he is specialized in niche hiring, especially in mining sector. I hope you will learn a lot about this business model and how he has overcome the challenges and how he has become a successful businessman in this industry. There is a fact about him, he has successfully clocked 1 CR revenue in this business. So please welcome Dolphy Mascarhenas, founder of Global Recruits. So welcome to our podcast, sir. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling lovely and very happy to be a part of this, and hope we achieve what we are planning to achieve.
So first of all, it's been a pleasure of ours that today we have you on our show. So to begin with, let's talk about your journey. How Global Recruits idea came to your mind?
So this happened in the year 2016. So I had been working all this time with a company doing exactly the same thing that I was doing. And then the thought came that why not do what I'm doing rather than for someone else, but for myself?
Okay.
So that's where I realized that, okay, if I'm putting all the efforts, why not put all the efforts on myself?
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of the journey of Global Recruits.
So from the beginning, I think in 2016 you started
Yes.
to till date. What all changes had happened?
So it has been a roller coaster ride. So there's lots that has happened in me starting the company single-handed to today. We are about 4 people in this team. So Global Recruits is a boutique firm. We work on very niche mandates, and these are all global mandates. So I don't need an army of people. So happy with however and whatever the team has shaped up today. And we've been able to deliver whatever we've promised to all our clients.
Okay.
Yeah, so the journey has been good. And we've grown phenomenally well. And our clients have kept coming back to us. So that's a huge testimonial for us that, whatever we are doing,
Yeah.
we're doing good.
So great. We will start today's podcast with our first segment, that is Fab 5 segment. So we have selected top 5 questions, and the first question will be, what challenges did you face in entering international markets?
So, as I told you, I have been doing what I'm doing even before I started Global Recruits. Okay, so for me, uh, it was not a big challenge, you know, doing something that I was always doing.
Yeah.
The only difference was I was doing it for someone else earlier. Now I was doing it for myself. When I said, okay, I'm going solo and I'm starting my own thing, they stood by me. They uh, shared their mandates and the needs with me. And yeah, it was difficult initially to work solo, singly on these mandates. But yes, once I took off, then there was no looking back.
So what exactly Global Recruits work on?
So Global Recruits works on uh, international mandate, specifically Middle East and Africa region. So we highlight on mid and senior level hirings. We are industry agnostic. As long as it is international, I'm not really worried about what industry the mandates are.
Okay.
But primarily speaking, majority of our mandates come from the mining industry, manufacturing, financial services, trading.
Okay.
So these are a few of the key sectors where a majority of our work happens.
And what is the approx time taken, to fill up the mandates from your experience?
It totally ranges. There are some mandates I can tell you we have closed within a week.
Okay.
There are some that stretch up to a 5 to 6 month period.
Okay.
It all depends on what the client needs and the way we go ahead and deliver it.
Okay.
So in the mining sector, we work right from when you look at exploration, the geologists, when we're talking about the plant, the processing plant,
Yeah.
people who are required at the plant, we are talking about electrical process, mechanical machines, anything and everything that is required on a mine site.
Okay.
So we have people that we delivered at the corporate office also, like finance, accounts, administration, procurement, the office level, and then the mine site. Uh, and this again has happened across the entire African continent. We talk about Gabon, Mozambique, DRC, we talk about Zambia, Ivory Coast, you name most of the countries across the whole of Africa, we've been working.
Have you seen any kind of change in mindset of candidates after COVID?
Not exactly. COVID, yes, it did put a spanner in the wheel. Things came to a complete standstill. But immediately after the COVID thing started vanning off, everything just, catapulted double time.
Okay.
Just like there was a revenge travel happening. There were people started traveling more, people started interacting more, people started, I mean, everything that took a hit,
Yeah.
flared 2 and 3 times more. Same was with hiring. So after COVID, everything took off, and it was all with a vengeance. So they wanted to cover up lost time. They wanted to cover up lost opportunities. But I feel sometimes that everybody learned a lesson through COVID that, okay, what one should not do, or, what one should be prepared for.
Yeah.
So everybody is now aware, and, they take their steps accordingly to ensure that, there is business continuity.
So now I will ask the second question, that is, what were the key factors that helped you achieve 1 crore plus top line?
Said earlier, and I keep saying, Ashish, that my key deliverables, I would always say, have been my clients. The kind of support they gave me when I started off, and the kind of support that I got when I started working with them, uh, was one of the drivers. Second was, I have always been passionate about what I'm doing. I get involved in the company. I get involved in the entire process. Okay, my interactions with the candidates, the my lineups, the entire hand-holding process. Uh, I have been involved. So that again was, another factor that helped me achieve what I did. And though we were striving for it, and mind you, again, this happened during COVID and post COVID. So you can see, there was so much of traction and enthusiasm, in me, my whole team also, to deliver on the results. So we were practically on each and every assignment to ensure that we get a closure.
So the third question is, how do you differentiate your services to attract high profile clients?
What had been happening before I started Global Recruits was we always were working remotely. Remotely, as in our clients were abroad and we were in India servicing those clients, not knowing the geography, not knowing what's happening there. The touch and feel was not there. When Global Recruits happened, I took it on me to go and visit my clients.
Okay.
So I traveled across the Middle East. I traveled across Africa. I went to the mine sites, which for almost years together, I'd not even seen them, or, I had no clue about how a mine looks.
Yes.
So, so that is what was a differentiator, So when I went there and I did all of these things, I I definitely got connected with new people.
Correct.
New mandates came, and you know, even the clients could relate to me. Since I went and visited them,
Yeah.
I went about, um, understanding what happens, how candidates, one, they travel there and they join the client, what happens, where do they stay, what they do, the entire piece. So it really helped me to um, understand our clients, and of course, I got a perspective
Yeah.
about how things work.
It's like the same thing, like you're talking to a person in phone and talking to a person in a face to face.
Exactly.
The experience is.
It's totally different.
So the next question is, what are your top priorities when hiring and nurturing talent within your organization?
That's a very important question, Ashish. Today, for not only for us, but for any organization, it is so important that we attract good talent. Uh, so the challenge does not stop at attracting good talent. That there is also a challenge to nurture them and keep them with you.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful to my team that has been there with me for the last so many years, at Global Recruits. Now, I very strongly believe in giving people a very free hand. I am not a person who would want to breathe down the neck of someone, in micro monitoring or micromanaging the person.
Here, I think our viewers will definitely like to know that how they can join Global Recruits if they want to join.
They are most welcome. I am available on LinkedIn. You can look me up for Dolphy Mascarhenas and search for Global Recruits. You can connect with me over there. You can write a message to me as well. What what is it that you're looking out for? Uh, and my team will get in touch with you. Uh, who will do the assessment, the preliminary assessment. And if all goes well, we would be more than happy to onboard you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a great thing for our viewers. So I hope that you remember, please search Dolphy Mascarenas in LinkedIn and please connect. So last question will be, what common mistakes should entrepreneurs avoid in the beginning phase of their business?
As I told you earlier also, I've been very passionate about people and the HR space, connecting, talking, managing relationships. So that was my passion. I love talking to people. I love connecting, uh, and which has kept me in this business. And I've only been thriving really well. So one should identify what their inner passion is. because once you do that, then you're no longer working.
Yeah.
Every day in your life is a new day. It shouldn't happen that, when you are at working with at an organization, you get up in the morning, arre yaar, aaj office jana hai, and the same old story, and so and you change the perspective to following or doing something that you love to do. You'd look forward to the next day coming. Arre yaar, it's morning, let me run, I have things to do, whatever, you have so much of energy then. The same thing happens with me. I'm so uh, charged up every day. That okay, that the things that I need to do, people that I need to connect with. So I'm so active on LinkedIn. My day always starts with sending birthday wishes to everybody who's having a birthday on LinkedIn,
Okay.
who is having a birthday on on Facebook, whoever is connected with me. So I make it a point to send birthday wishes. Thankfully, LinkedIn also tells us people who have completed anniversaries. So there also I make it a point, to send a small short line to them, congratulating them
Yeah.
uh, on the anniversary. So yeah, so these are just few of the important things that one should do. So, and yeah, last but not the least, yes, I would always stick to running after your passion, to be a successful entrepreneur.
So this is the end of our first segment, and it was really good for our viewers, specifically from joining Global Recruits perspective, and how should a startup and entrepreneurs should look at their startup and how to avoid the mistakes, and specifically the passion point which you have mentioned in the last question. So let's move to the next segment, that is elevator pitch segment. It's a very famous segment where you have to tell about Global Recruits in 60 seconds.
Ashish, I've spoken enough about Global Recruits. Last year, we've been very fortunate to start our operations in Dubai,
Okay.
called Infinity Capital Management.
Okay.
So there we are catering to the entire GCC market. We also do certain work in the African continent, mid-senior level. We work very closely with the owners and stakeholders of businesses, wherein we cater to their people needs. So anything to do with expats or locals, we can provide the companies with the talent that they require.
So that was a great elevator pitch. So let's move to the next segment, which is a funnier one, that is the myths versus fact. So all these segments were not there in season 1, so we have introduced them in season 2. So the first statement is recruiters only care about filling positions quickly and moving on. It's a myth or fact?
It's a fact and a myth also. Myth because um, if you talk about us, we believe in working on the client side. We don't normally work fronting the candidates. We fulfill the needs of the clients, whatever they may be. And of course, there are people in the market who um, who walk with that thing that, okay, fastest finger first. Let's go quick, closure. So, that is not how we operate. So that's the reason I said, it's a myth and it's a fact also. So it's,
Okay.
yeah.
Only candidates with the perfect resume get hired.
Having a perfect resume uh, might get you shortlisted, on a screen select, but the taste of the pudding is, when you actually eat it. Okay, so once you go for the interview is when you'll be screened, and everything opens up.
Yeah.
So if your CV can only take you to a certain point, but then the rest is all up to you, how you present yourself to the prospective employer.
Executive search firms like Global Recruits provide strategic advice beyond recruitment.
Yes, that's a fact. I would say, because our our job does not end at just filling a position.
Hmm.
I can relate an example also. When we were working with a certain client of ours, we know the client inside out, what they do. Okay, so when I came across someone who I felt would be a value add to my organization, to my client organization, I definitely went ahead and recommended that gentleman to
Hmm.
the client. And they were so glad to meet him, and ultimately they hired the guy.
Okay.
So, so this was something that went beyond, getting a requirement in a JD
Hmm.
to fulfill a position.
Okay.
This I went beyond that, and I only seen the value add that this action could provide my client. So they are very happy till date with the candidate, and I'm happy for them.
Customer is always right.
A fact,
Fact.
customer is always right, because at the end of the day, you're working for the customer. And being a consultant actually helps you give some facts and figures to the client. So, as I say, the customer can ask you for the sun, moon, and stars, which I know, and everybody knows. You can't
Hmm.
give it to the customer. So, that is where we come into the picture and help the customer with showcasing what is available and what they should pay for, anything like that.
Okay.
So it's about uh, getting both sides together, or getting two people on the same platform.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to manage expectations.
So the last statement of this segment is recruitment business is easy.
No, recruitment, you can say it's tough, okay, because yeah, it takes time uh, to understand the the dynamics of the business. Uh, for me, I've been in this for the last 2 decades.
Hmm.
So today I'm sleeping or whatever, somebody asks me about something, I'll be able to talk about it even with my subconscious mind. So,
Yeah.
uh, so being in the business has helped me, to uh, to be up to date. But a newbie who starts, he has to learn the ropes.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, and yeah, and with time and practice, and you can definitely uh, get into something. Or the other thing is, if you can get a niche for yourself,
Hmm.
because there are so many factors in recruitment, in the recruitment space. There is hospitality, which is an entire industry by itself when you're
Hmm.
talking about hiring and recruitment,
Hmm.
which we don't do. We are not specialized to do that.
Okay.
Oil and gas is another sector, which again is a very specialized sector, which we don't do.
Okay.
Okay, mining is very close to us. We know the inside out about mining, so we are doing it.
Hmm.
Okay, financials, banking to a certain extent, we are doing that. Okay, so BPO, KPO hiring, that's again a niche segment. A person who is well aware about that industry will not find it any tough, to get into that industry and crack that space. So yeah, it's how you look at it.
So let's go to the next and our last segment, that is the secret to success. So in this segment, we want to know, like, from your 2 decade of experience, what is your secret to success?
Secret to success is, Ashish, I would say, being true to yourself. There are no shortcuts, okay, in this business or any business for that matter. In my business, I have lost a lot of work mandates, okay, or I have, where I have recommended a candidate, closed the mandate, and when I have realized that, there are certain facts that need to be disclosed to the client, I have done that.
Hmm.
Okay, thereby I have gained the trust of the client, but at a cost.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I had kept quiet, I would have made a billing for that placement,
Yeah.
but I didn't. So there is, it's a give and take. Billing amount was close to 8,000 US dollars for that one placement, which is not small, I guess.
Yeah.
So I gave that up just so that my client, and
Okay.
it's also about my reputation, right? So
Mm.
had the client known about this in the future, they would have, cut me off, as
Yeah.
in, that I didn't speak to them or reveal to them something like that. The candidate would have been very chilled out to say that I had told this to the recruiter.
Yeah.
If he didn't say, that's not my problem.
Correct.
So I think that is where we cut a niche for ourselves. We work with the client. And another thing I would like to share is, we don't consider ourselves to be vendors to any clients. We always consider ourselves to be client partners. I consider myself to be an extension of the organization that I represent,
Okay.
my client organization. So whenever I talk to them, I tell them that this is our organization. What are we going to do? When I'm talking to the client, I refer that them as ours, we, my, so that's the difference that we make.
So it was a great talking with you, Mr. Dolphy, and we have learned specifically from my side. If I say the how the recruitment business work, I will personally disclose here that before this podcast, I was thinking that this business is very easy, but now I felt that what you see, it is not true. Look, behind the scene, there are a lot of hard work happens, and after the hard work and process only, you will get the success. So thank you for being on our show. Thanks for giving your time.
Thanks to you, Ashish, for making me a part of your show. So really appreciate. And I'm sure you hit success. And I wish you all the best and congratulate you for what you're doing. So keep the good work going on. So my best wishes are always there with you.
Thank you. So viewers, this is it for today. In next episode, we will come with a new guest who will share his secret to success and which will help you in build, grow and scale your business. Till then, stay tuned.